welcome back. I'm Di, and today I'm bringing you the second part of my September wrap-up, which is going to include all of the manga that I read. I read 5 manga volumes in September, and I think they were from 3 different series. So let's jump into it. The first mangas that I read were from this series, Blood Plus. I read volumes 1 and 2, and Blood Plus is by Asuka Katsura. This follows a girl named Saya, and she lives in Okinawa with her adopted brothers and her adoptive father, and she just lives an ordinary life. She goes to school, she is on the track team. I think she specializes in the high jump, and she kind of lives a pretty ordinary life. Her father owns a restaurant, and she loves to eat. Saya inadvertently finds out that her adoptive father is part of this organization called Red Shield, and he was actually tasked to protect her by the organization. A couple other people in her life are also part of this organization, and she had no idea. Turns out that Saya is this like super weapon. There are these creatures called chiropterans, and they're like blood-sucking creatures, like vampires, but they look like beasts. And she is the only thing that can kill these chiropterans. Saya is having a hard time understanding that she is the only one that can kill these creatures. And Saya doesn't want to have anything to do with this. She just wants to be a normal girl. But apparently she had a previous life and she doesn't remember any of it. But this is what she did. She killed chiropterans, and she's the only one that can save the world from these creatures. And so the story kind of follows her trying to piece together what her life was before what she could remember against her previous life killing these creatures. I had watched the anime version of this several years ago. I really enjoyed it, and so I was interested to see if there was anything different in the manga than there was in the anime, and I was happily surprised that there was. There are a couple scenes in there that are similar to things that I saw in the anime, but they're different. And there are also characters that I don't remember being in the anime. So that was really enjoyable. Not quite sure if the series will expand past what the anime offered, or if it will just be contained in what the anime showed. I enjoy Saya's character. I enjoy her relationship with her brothers and her dad, and how even after finding out her previous life and what she could do, that her brothers didn't treat her any different. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. The art style was very nice, and I'm looking forward to reading the rest of them, which I do have out from the library, so I'm hoping to get to those soon. Then I read volume 1 of Hell Girl. This one is by Miyuki Eto. This one kind of revolves around an urban legend. So the Hell Girl, they say if you are able to get onto the Hell Girl website at midnight, I think it is, midnight on the dot, and you ask the Hell Girl to take someone to hell, she will. Of course, there is a price. This volume has the same kind of setup as like Nightmare Inspector, and I've talked about that one a little bit earlier in earlier videos on my channel, but This one volume had like 4 or 5 short stories in it, and each story features a different character and their struggle with someone else in their life, and they ask the Hell Girl to take whoever to hell because they just can't take it anymore. And the Hell Girl agrees. In exchange, once the person that asks her to take these people to hell dies, she also owns their soul and they will go to hell as well. Each story is different. Each story deals with a different kind of torment. I can't say it was enjoyable. It was interesting. I've also watched a couple episodes of this anime, but it's, again, not one that I could sit down and watch in chunks. I think I'll only be able to read this one volume at a time. But the art style was very different from the anime, and they kind of made the Hell Girl cutesy, which I thought was an interesting twist. She was cutesy, at least to me. I think she has more of an edge in the anime. But nonetheless, I did like this volume. I did end up giving it 4 stars, and will probably continue reading other volumes in the future. The last 2 volumes of manga I read were from Red River, and you know I've been reading this one for a while. This one was recommended on Manga Hoarder's channel. Laura is her name. And this is one of her favorite series. And so I've been slowly taking them out from the library. I read volume 13 and volume 14. Now, this storyline follows Yuri, and she is from modern day Japan. She travels back in time to 14 BC Anatolia, I think it is, and she gets summoned there by an evil queen who wants to use her as a blood sacrifice so that she can rid the other princes in succession to the throne, and so that her own son can be king. And so this kind of follows Yuri's adventures, 1, trying to get back to modern day Japan, and 2, trying to thwart the queen's attempts at taking her life. And there's also, of course, this love story kind of blossoming, and we're pretty far into this series at this point, 13 and 14. I think there's 28 volumes in this series. As you can see, there is a parental advisory for explicit content on this one, and this one. I know I've mentioned it in the past that not all of the volumes have that, but these 2 do, due to either nudity or sexual content. And so these 2 volumes had some of that in it, so for mature audiences only. But we kind of come to a little bit of a decision-making point for Yuri in volume number 14. And though I kind of suspected that the story was going to go in that direction, it was still interesting to see it take that road. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do because my library doesn't have the next one. I don't know why they don't have the next one. They have every other volume, but they don't have 15. 15 is also not available for sale in a physical copy anymore. And used volumes or volumes from other people are running about $25. I don't want to spend $25 on a manga volume, especially when it was only $10. $10 is the original price. And so I may end up just purchasing a digital copy so that I can continue with the rest of the volumes, because I really don't want to skip and not have, you know, the continuous story to the end. So I'm definitely continuing with this series, and I am enjoying it quite a bit, and I ended up giving both of these volumes 4 stars, as I've given the rest of the volumes in this series, I believe. So yeah, I really enjoy this series, and I'm looking forward to continuing it. So those were all of the volumes of manga that I read in September. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought. I hope you're all doing great, and until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.